Oh, the things we could do. It kind of reminds me of a Dr. Seuss book, but it also reminds me of the book of Acts, which is what we're looking at right now, the followers of Jesus and how they follow Jesus at the very start of their own discipleship journey. And we're looking at that because I think there's some clues and some actual things that happened in the book of Acts that can help us in today's world with our desire to follow Jesus. And one of those stories, an epic story in the book of Acts, is this man named Saul, who started this journey into disruption, really, with the life of Stephen. And Stephen's martyrdom kind of led Paul to this place where he was even more furious against Jesus and the people of God. And he's on his way to Damascus, actually, to try to capture Christians. Some people think maybe harm them physically, but definitely imprison them for distorting the original orthodoxy of his Jewish beloved faith. And he's on a horse and he's on his way to Damascus, and he suddenly sees a bright light. I mean, this is like the thing movies are made of, and actually being knocked off your high horse is exactly what happens to Saul. He gets knocked off his horse by the blinding light, and he's literally blinded. He cannot see. And then a voice speaks to him. This is how he tells the story. A voice speaks to him and says, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" And the voice is Jesus. And Saul is blinded, which, by the way, is weird because usually you can see. You know, we'll say, once I was blind, but now I can see. But for Saul, he had to be blinded before he could get there, because he had to be humbled, because he had to be challenged, because he had to be convicted, because he had to literally be knocked off of his high horse in order to receive some sense of humility, because humility, of course, is the ground in which God's Spirit can come. I don't know where you're at in your journey, and I don't know what it means exactly, but here's what I know. The God that spoke to Saul is the God that speaks to you and I can't help in this story but think of my own life and the way I was living in darkness, literally in a jail cell, and then a light, Jesus appeared to me. I have so much in common with Saul in the experience of being humbled by Jesus and then being loved by Jesus, and that experiencing changing everything about the way I lived. This is what happens to Saul. I don't know if you have people, or maybe you're the person that just is the worst person, that you just think it's impossible for this person to change. It might be impossible for you to change. But can I tell you, if Saul can change, if I can change, you can change. And it's not about your ability, it's about God's power. Let him change you.